So for 20 years of my life, as I was just telling you, I was very myopically focused on this objective of I want to be the best bodybuilder in the world. I want to be the biggest bodybuilder in the world, and I want to be the, win Mr. Olympia. And I accomplished a lot of cool things, as you mentioned in the intro, and I accomplished a lot of goals. I accomplished a lot more than most people ever believed I would. I was that kid who didn't have the genetics. I was that kid who didn't come from the right family. I didn't come from the financial background. I came from Canada, so most people are like, oh, you can't do it. And I did it. So like, if you had told me when I was 15 years old that I'd get there, walking on the Olympia stage, I would be like, oh, that'll be my life dream and I'll be satisfied and fulfilled. And I was probably the most empty I ever was in my life, walking on stage with Mr. Olympia. I remember not wanting to take off my shirt the day before because I felt so insecure, like people were gonna be judging me. And there's a lot of emotional stuff there. So that feeling alone was a gift to me, right? Because it allowed me to have the presence of mind and the consciousness to go, well, obviously this external journey isn't going to fulfill me. So what is it? And I started taking this internal perspective of, shining light on myself now rather than shining light on the external objective. And so many people do that. They assume that the things outside of them are going to be the thing that accomplishes that fulfillment and that just gratification. So it's the accomplishing of, making money or building body or whatever it is. And you realize, that it's not. Like, you could have all the money in the world and it's nice, it gives you good things, it gives you opportunities, but until you start taking that journey inside, nothing feels good. And so I was very blessed to accomplish some goals young, relatively, and then I just realized, man, that's not what's going to fulfill me in life. So it allowed me to start stripping away the layers of the onion, the layers of the ego, and start looking deeper inside. And so now my journey is very much about finding myself, finding my true essence, my soul, and realizing that at the core of myself, just as the core of yourself, you are love. And how can you get your insecurity and fear out of the way to let that love shine through? So now my journey is about, teaching people all of these mistakes I made along the way in fitness, because I still love fitness and bodybuilding. I think it's still a beautiful thing. I just teach it from a different perspective now, right? Rather than focusing on the end goal, focus on today. And how can you be the best person you can in this workout, in this interview, in your relationship, and be present? How can you be with your family and your kids? How can you be present in your business? Because that's how you build the best body in the world. That's how you build the best business in the world, is not being absent and on the phone and with your mind somewhere else when I'm in this moment. Like, the only thing I'm thinking about when I'm sitting here with you is this conversation with you and delivering the best result I can right now. So if you're failing at anything in your life, it's because you're not able to focus, right? You're having a hard time being present and focused. And for me, yoga was this amazing, eye-opening experience because it was very difficult. And one of my things that I say often is, if you can't, you must. Last year, I climbed a mountain in Mammoth. So for the first hour and a half, I was dreading it in my mind because I hadn't trained for it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be terrible. This is going to be the worst thing ever. And for the first hour and a half, I dreaded it. Like, my legs were burning and it was terrible. And then I became conscious. And in that moment, it was like, what the hell am I doing? Like, I'm in the most beautiful place in the world. I'm with two of my best friends in the world. I'm outside, I'm alive, I have legs. I took a breath and I smiled and I said, thank you. And the next 6 hours up the mountain, I floated. Like, if you just have the ability to change your perspective and say, hey, I want to be present, I want to enjoy this, I want to realize this is an opportunity to become better, or it's an opportunity to indoctrinate deeper into this negativity that I have, right? And it's always this yin and yang that sits in front of you, and you have this opportunity to go, man, I'm going to use this opportunity today, this pain, this discomfort that I'm bringing on myself, to become better. Like meditation, same thing, discipline, right? You can use that as an opportunity, like, oh, I got to meditate, or like, God, I get to meditate, right? It's always there, man. It's always perspective. So people take off days. I'm like, champions don't take off days. We take parasympathetic days. What's the difference? An off day is sitting on my butt doing nothing or still doing things that are stressful. A parasympathetic day may be, I wake up in the morning and I walk, or I do yoga, or I breathe, or I meditate, or I do a float tank, or I connect with my loved ones, and I do things that that fill my soul, they fill my cup. I'm connected with my kids. Just being outside, that's a parasympathetic activity. That's recharging your batteries, just plugging in, right? And that's bringing down that sympathetic tone. A parasympathetic day doesn't include my phone. It doesn't include my email. It doesn't include work meetings, right? Things that I know that are going to stress me out. Like, if I don't recharge my batteries, I can't be present for my kids. I can't be present for my wife, for my business. I literally sit down, and I did this for a long time in my career, and create the person I want to be. I can take 30 seconds to 5 minutes before I come in here, and I can tell myself who I am, what I need to bring to this conversation, what I need to bring to this environment. So I can't go into my daughter's bedroom when she's 2 or 4 or 5 now and be the same man that I am going into my leg session. I can't be the same man that I am going into my business. Like, I have to literally create these little versions, like these little multiple personalities, if I really want to thrive, right? Because if I'm the same person, there's going to be a terrible overlap. Something's going to go terribly wrong. So I need to learn to sit down and map it out. Like, who do I want to be, and what does that feel like, and what's my posture, and what's my breathing, and what's my cadence, and how do I create that in every different scenario? That's the way you succeed. And it just takes consistency, practice, and diligence. And this is where meditation comes in, man. Like, if I'm not meditating, I see the difference. You're not showing up with your A game to talk to Tom Billier. You're not showing up with your A game to talk with your daughter, and they're gonna notice. And I want every minute to be present. And man, I'm not perfect. Like, there's days where I'm like, oh man, I got this to do, I gotta catch up. And I'm like, no, because what are you telling them, right? You're saying, hey, you're not as important as this. And we're also addicted to this, right? To our phone. No, man, I want my kids to know they're the most important thing in my life. And then obviously in training, there's, you know, for me, for a long time, I sat in my car and everyone's like, dude, what are you doing? I'm like, I sit in my car 5 or 10 minutes because I have to. Sometimes it takes really digging deep into your soul to understand your why. Like, why am I going to go in there and have the hardest workout? I'm tired. I don't want to go. I'm hungry. There's a million places I'd rather be than going to the gym and do this leg workout or whatever it is. What do I have to do? Who do I have to become? Who am I? Right? Why am I here? Why did I start? And you had that one moment to come back and spend a minute with your family. You had that moment to come back to be present with the people you love. Just meditate on that. Like, if you died right now and you never got to come back and see them again, what would you give to come back for that one moment? And meditate on that tomorrow morning and tell me how you feel. And tell me you can't wake up and be grateful. You're gonna wake up with a smile on your face and you're gonna run toward the people you love and go, like, just bring tears to my eyes, like, thank you. Sit with yourself, by yourself. Turn your phone off, with yourself. Sit with your anxiety, sit with your discomfort. Look at the things you don't want to do, because that's where you need to go. I think most people just don't spend enough time by themselves. Like, 1 hour of solitude a day sounds like torture to some people, right? Sit with yourself, man. Sit with your thoughts. And it may take time. It may take a long time. But I think at some point you'll know what you don't want to do. And you'll know that will start to chip away at what you do want to do, right? Everything in life has polarities. So in order to experience bliss, you must experience pain.